Hello everyone, my name is Daniela and I'll be talking to you about vaping and young people in Canada. This is a very important topic to me because vaping has increased drastically in lots of teenagers. Most people think it's safe, but research shows otherwise, and in my talk, I'll be telling you about what vaping is, why most young people are vaping these days, how it affects our mental and physical health, and why using inclusive language is really important while we're talking about vaping. Okay, to start, what is vaping? Vaping is when a person inhales aerosol from an electronic device like e-cigarette or a vape pen, and usually has this liquid inside that contains nicotine, different flavors, and other chemicals. And the thing about vaping is most teenagers think it's a much safer option than smoking. But studies have shown how vaping vaping affects the brain, the lungs, and the heart. For example, a study by Blount and colleagues in 2019, they found harmful chemicals like vitamin C acetates in a patient with vaping related lung injury. It was also reported that in Canada there was a rapid rise of vaping in youth in 2017 and 2019, which leads me to my next subtopic on why people vape, why young people are vaping so much these days. On to the big question, why does so many youth vape? I can think of so many reasons. The first one being peer pressure. They feel the need to fit in with friends, to look cool. And there was actually a study by Rotherman and Gilmore in 2022. They found that more than 30% of teens aged 15 and 19 tried vaping just because of peer influence. Another reason I could think of is social media, like platforms like TikTok or X. They make vaping look very normal, very cool, and fun. We also have like ads showing the different flavors and just different designs that just makes the young people attracted more. Another reason would be stress coping. Some teens say that vaping helps them relax, and there's a research from Becca in 2022. It shows that students sometimes use vaping to cope with stress or emotions. My last reason would be the flavors. Vapes are made to come in different fruity and sweet flavors, which can be very appealing to young people. Some schools in Canada changed their approach to vaping. So instead of suspending students for vaping, they now offer mindful breaks where students can learn healthy coping skills. And I think this shows how important, supportive, and non judgmental language is. Now, let's talk about vaping and its physical and lifelong health risk. Even though vaping may seem safer than smoking, it still has lifelong health risks. And in 2020, according to Ladine, vaping can affect the lung function and lead to serious breathing problems. Nicotine also affects the developing brain, especially in teenagers. And in Canada, most vapers are between the ages of 15 and 24. This means so many young people may face lifelong risks like heart problems or chronic lung issues in adulthood. So, an early prevention is very important for a healthy aging. Just like vaping affects us when we use it long term, it can also affect a young person's daily life in ways that they don't even always notice. Because nicotine changes how the brain works, so it might affect our energy, our mood, and our focus. For example, they might have trouble focusing, so when someone vapes often, their brain gets used to nicotine, and when they don't have it anymore, they might feel very distracted and they might feel restless and they find it hard to focus in class or maybe work or even finish an assignment. Vaping also causes money problems. The vape, the vape cows, the pods, the flavor, they all cost money. And even spending just a little every weekend, they all sum up, they all add up. And some young people might start choosing buying vapes and the materials over saving, over food, or even getting school materials. When we talk about vaping, it's very important to avoid using shaming language because using judgmental words can make young people hide their struggles instead of just asking for help. Inclusive language means we talk about the behavior, not label the person. Let's look at some of the examples of inclusive language. Instead of calling someone an addict, we could just say a person with nicotine dependence. Instead of calling someone a vape junkie, we could say a person who uses e-cigarettes often. Instead of saying clean, we could always replace that with vape free. This language is just much respectful, and it focuses more on health and recovery. And it encourages young people to talk openly about vaping without feeling judged or feeling shamed. Here are some healthy alternatives instead of vaping. It's very simple and very realistic. The first one, you could try chewing gum or hard candy. It can help keep the mouth busy and reduce cravings. Second one, you could try deep breathing. A simple breathing exercise can relax the body faster than a vape, and it lowers stress naturally. You could try drinking water because staying hydrated reduces cravings and helps the body reset. You could try short walks, you could try stretching and yoga because moving the body releases endorphins. Just 5 minutes can help the urge pass. You could also try listening to music because it helps the mood and distracts the mind in a very healthy way. And the last one, talk to someone. For young people in Canada who need help with stress, mental health, and quitting vaping, I have attached some resources up here. I attached the websites and phone numbers. They offer free support, information, and guidance. I'm very excited. We're coming towards the end of my video, and I created a 1-month SMART goal for young people who want to quit vaping. For the goal for a month, talk about vaping in all social and academic environment using inclusive and stigma-free language. For example, youth affected by vaping instead of vapors. Record 3 instances weekly where inclusive language led to positive feedback. It could just be you engaging with your peers openly. To be specific, apply inclusive terms in conversations in classrooms or even social media posts. To measure your goals, you could log in 3 positive feedbacks weekly in a journal. You could also use a phone app for login and a reminder to practice daily. This just promotes empathy and it reduces stigma in vaping discussions. It also aligns with the public health goals. And for the time, you can complete and summarize results after 4 weeks. We have reached the end of my video, and I just wanted to say that vaping is a growing concern in Canada, especially amongst young people. It affects our physical health, it affects our mental health, and it affects our long-term well-being. And just using inclusive language just helps reduce the shame and makes young people feel much comfortable asking for help. Thank you for listening.